Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here. And in today's video, we're going to be talking through some of my favorite plays on Prizepicks for today's slate, Friday, March the 18th. Once again, we do have a really big slate for Friday, 12 game slate. We had 12 games on Wednesday. I did give out 4 picks in Wednesday's video. We went 2-2 on the 4 picks we gave out Wednesday. So, it wasn't the best day Wednesday. I didn't make a video yesterday because we only had one game, and it was the Pistons and Magic, and I was just going to sit that one out. But again, we got a big slate for Friday, and I have 4 picks to share for this video. Since it is such a big slate, it was pretty easy to find a good amount of props that I did like. And the 4 props I like for today are all in the points category, so we're going to be taking some points props today. Again, I'll share these 4 picks, why I like them. As always, guys, if you enjoy these videos, make sure you hit that like button down below. If you're new to the channel and you have not yet, please hit that subscribe button as well. We are on the road to 25,000 subscribers, and we're about 50 subscribers away. I'm hoping that we can hit the milestone maybe by the end of this week, maybe by Sunday or something. About 50 subscribers away from 25K. All thanks to your guys' support. I appreciate all you guys coming out, coming here, checking out the channel, hitting that subscribe button. It does mean a lot to me. So if you have not yet, hit that subscribe button. Also, if you are new to Prizepicks, you want to check them out. Prizepicks, again, they're a player prop based site. It's a little bit different than DraftKings Sportsbook, FanDuel Sportsbook. You're not having to worry about juice or odds or anything like that. It is just picking over or under. You really want to get your pick right. There's no odds or anything, so you can bet like a really heavy favorite and not be penalized for that. You're not going to lose out on any potential money. So I definitely think Prizepicks is fun to play. It's a little bit different than betting on a sports book. Give them a try. If you have not yet, you can sign up with my promo code Noah. They'll match your first deposit up to $100. And if you guys want more of my favorite plays on Prizepicks, I give those out on Patreon each day. We've been doing pretty well in the Patreon picks just lately. I know the YouTube picks have not been doing that well, but I'm really trying to get the YouTube picks right. Obviously trying to do well with the Patreon picks as well. But again, guys, 4 picks for today. We're going to share all in the points prop category, and we're going to start off with a guy that we took Wednesday who let us down, but I'm going right back to him. Kevin Durant, over 30.5 points against Portland. I mean, I really, really like this prop. Without Kyrie, with Harden obviously no longer on the team, it's basically the same thing I said Wednesday applies for today. Like, Kevin Durant's just going to have massive usage this season in 512 minutes without Kyrie or Harden on the floor. 36% usage rate for KD, averaging around 32 points per 36. And we know if this game's close, like, Kevin Durant's playing probably 36 to 40 minutes in their game on Wednesday against Dallas. KD played 40 minutes in that game. He didn't even shoot the ball that well. He shot 8 for 20. So, like, I know he came up short of his points prop last game, but that was a much tougher matchup. Obviously, he didn't have the greatest shooting game. This matchup against Portland, I mean, it might be as good as it gets. Portland's defense has been terrible. I can just look like over their last 10 games. Pretty sure they're like towards the bottom of the league in defensive rating. I mean, on the season, Portland is, let's see, where's that? Portland at defensive rating. So they are, they're second to last in defensive rating on the season, and I'm pretty sure like over their last 10 games, they're second to last as well, only behind the Rockets. So basically, I mean, over their last 10 games, they actually had their dead last in defensive rating. So, my God, I mean, Portland's defense has been terrible. The only thing I worry about here is blowout. And right now, this game has a 14.5 point spread. Brooklyn's favored by 14.5. They're playing at home. That is my one concern. Like, I could see KD only playing 30 minutes because Brooklyn just beats the crap out of Portland. But I really think if Brooklyn blows them out, it's probably because KD is going off. Like, I don't know if Brooklyn has enough firepower outside of KD to blow out any team. Unless Seth Curry's hitting like 6 threes or something, or Drummond's just dominating on the glass and getting all kind of putbacks. Really think that if Brooklyn does blow out Portland here, it's probably because KD is going nuts. So I think KD could still hit this prop even if he only plays 3 quarters or something. I think this game could stay close though. I just don't know if without Kyrie, with Ben Simmons still not ready to play, like, I don't know if this Brooklyn team is really good enough to blow any team out. Just because it's so, like, KD is just the entire offense, and really, if they are going to blow out somebody, it would have to be because of KD. So I really think KD hits this prop regardless. The matchup's so good. Even if the game blows out, I could still see him scoring 31 points in only 3 quarters. Portland, they just don't have anyone to stop him. They're probably going to put Josh Hart on KD, but that's a mismatch. KD should dominate here. Love the over 30.5 points for him. It burned me on Wednesday. Don't care. Got to have a short memory in DFS and then betting props. I'm going right back to it. So over 30.5 points for KD. First player prop I like for today. Second one, going to go to Nikola Jokic, over 24.5 points for Jokic. Now, the matchup here against Cleveland, not the best. Cleveland does play good defense. They play at a pretty slow pace as well. This game in general, this is not a game I want to be, betting a ton on because it's going to be a slow-paced game. Right now, the total in this game, out of the 12 games we have today, this game does have one of the lower totals. It has gone up, though. It opened at 220.5. It's been bet up to 224.5. But still, for me, when it comes to Jokic, it's kind of similar to KD. He's just the entire offense. When Jokic can have games where he maybe is not as aggressive offensively. He'll have those games where he gets 12 assists and maybe Will Barton steps up and scores more. Maybe Aaron Gordon steps up and scores more. We've seen Bones Highland play really well off the bench lately. But I still think this entire offense just runs through Jokic, and you can look over his last 5 games. I mean, he's hit this prop in 3 out of his last 5. In the 2 games he didn't hit it, he had 23 points, so he came up 2 points short. And then against Philly, tough matchup against Embiid, he had 22 points. He came up 3 points short. I mean, he's basically been scoring a bad scoring game from Jokic is 20 points. I mean, you can look at his game log over just whatever his last 10 games. I mean, 29, 22, 26, 23, 38, 32, 46, 22. Somehow he only had 8 points against Portland back in February, but that was a massive blowout. 18 against Sacramento, 25, 35, 20. I mean, most nights he's scoring 22 to 25 points on average. And then on his good scoring nights, Jokic can drop 30, 35. I mean, on the season, he's averaged over 24.5 points per game. He's actually averaged 26 points per game on the season. So just his season averages are higher than this line. I know the line's kind of lower because it's a tougher matchup, but I think getting 25 points from Jokic, I mean, that's doable every single night. I don't care what the matchup is. Jokic can score 25 in any spot. Cleveland, again, they're a good defensive team, but I think I'm just going to bank on the talent of Jokic here. I think this line is a couple points too low. I know the matchup's tougher, but the fact that his average scoring line is higher than this line, that just makes me want to take the over. So 25 points for Jokic, I like quite a bit today. I think Jokic can easily get that, even in a tougher matchup. So going to be taking over 24.5 points for Nikola Jokic. Third pick I like in this video, 23.5 points, going over on Pascal Siakam, 23.5 points. Matchup here, much, much better. Obviously, Jokic in a tougher spot, but Jokic, again, just such a good player that when it comes to him, I think he's basically matchup proof. Obviously, Siakam is a great player as well, but I love the spot for Siakam going up against the Lakers. I mean, this matchup is about as good as it gets. The Lakers are another team that they've just been terrible defensively. On the season, they're still playing at a top 5 pace. The Raptors have been a fairly slow-paced team this year, so this is definitely a big-time pace-up spot for them. And we actually did see these teams just play pretty recently. On March 14th, a couple days ago, Siakam had 27 points in a blowout. He only played 34 minutes, which is pretty low for Siakam because normally Siakam in close games, he plays 38, 40 minutes. Well, he only played 34 minutes against the Lakers because it was a blowout. I think he did play a little bit in the fourth quarter, but he might have got pulled early because they had the game in hands. They won by 11. But I think if we get 36 to 40 minutes here from Siakam, I mean 24 points against the Lakers. I mean, my God, if Siakam can't get that, I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's gone over this in 4 out of his last 5. This Lakers defense, especially in the paint, they just don't have any good defensive bigs. I mean, Dwight Howard's not going to stop Siakam. I don't think Dwight Howard will play many minutes anyways. They've been going small, playing LeBron at center, and LeBron can defend, but we've seen LeBron just kind of take possessions off defensively. LeBron's having to do so much on the offensive end that it's just really hard for him to lock down on defense when he's having to carry the offense. So I really think it's a great spot for Siakam once again. He just went over this prop last time they played the Lakers. We know the Lakers are a bad defensive team. They play fast. I have a little bit of worry about blowout here as well. Toronto's playing at home. They just blew out the Lakers last time they played, but the Lakers got off to a super slow start. I mean, the Lakers scored 8 points, I want to say in the first 8 minutes. I mean, they just couldn't do anything to start off the game. They finally started to play well later in the game and made it somewhat close. As long as the Lakers can start the game well and just not come out so bad, I think this game does stay close. Right now the spread is, let's take a look. So the spread right now, the Raptors are favored. Yeah, the Raptors are favored by 8.5. So 8.5 point spread, not exactly what you want to see, but I still think as long as the Lakers can come out decent out of the gate, they've been getting off to a ton of slow starts this season. We see a lot of games the Lakers just, they're down by 20 after the first quarter. If they can just avoid getting down by 20 after the first quarter and we get full minutes from Siakam and, this game stays close, I feel really good about him getting 24 points against this Lakers defense that just can't stop bigs right now, and especially athletic bigs like Siakam. I mean, we saw Cat have a big game against the Lakers. We saw DeAndre Ayton have a big game against the Lakers. This team's just so bad, man. They can't stop anyone on the defensive end, and Siakam's a guy that should feast in this matchup. So really like going over 23.5 points for him as the third pick in this video. And then the fourth and final pick in this video, going back to that Brooklyn-Portland game on the other side. This one's a little bit risky because this Portland team, once again, they are really, really bad. They're 14.5 point dogs, so obviously this game has some blowout risk. But I think if KD plays his full minutes and this game stays close, I feel really good about Josh Hart getting getting 18 points or more and going over his points prop. So the last 3 games that I've been on Josh Hart, I've bet his points prop the last 3 games. He crushed against Washington. The game stayed close. He had a massive game. The game against Atlanta stayed close. Hart did really well, scored 31 points in that game. Last game against the Knicks, it was close at halftime. Josh Hart had 15 points at halftime, and then he played his normal third quarter stint, but he never checked back in the fourth quarter, I don't think. Or he might have checked back in the fourth quarter, but he only played a few minutes. So basically, Josh Hart had 15 points at halftime last game, and then somehow he only scored 2 points the entire second half, and then it turned out being a blowout, so he didn't play much in the fourth quarter. If this game stays close, I think Josh Hart's going to score 18 points, and really the only way it's going to stay close is if Josh Hart has a big game. So I think correlating KD's over in points with Josh Hart over in points makes a lot of sense. Now, could this game blow out and Josh Hart still score 18 points and Kevin Durant score 31 points? I mean, it's totally possible just because right now KD is the entire Brooklyn offense, and if you take a look at Portland this season, I mean, right now Josh Hart's their entire offense. He's leading the team in usage with Nurkic off the floor, Simons off the floor, and then obviously Dame is not playing right now. McCollum trade away, Norman Powell trade away. Josh Hart's the entire offense. He leads the team in usage. He's averaging around 25.5 points per 36, and we have seen that in games that do stay close, Chauncey Billups, he'll play Josh Hart big minutes. Now, the only reason his points have been set down so much, in these last 5, or the 2 of his last 5, the only reason he just didn't score that many points in those games was they got the crap beat out of them. They lost by like 35, and Hart only scored 6 points and 5 points. But the last 3 games, especially the 2 of the 3, they were able to keep close, and we saw Hart go nuts, 44 points and 31 points. I think if Portland can hang today, if they can keep this game close, Josh Hart's probably going to score 18 points. We've just seen his role be so good. He just gets so much usage. He's taking like 15, 20 shots a game. So over 17.5 points, I do like a lot for Josh Hart. I think correlating that with Kevin Durant's over, I'm going to put these 4 guys in one entry, but I'm probably going to do a 2 pick as well with KD over and Josh Hart over, because I think if that game stays close, I feel really good about both those guys going over their points props just because they're their offense. KD is the entire offense for Brooklyn. Josh Hart is the entire offense for Portland right now. So I really like the over 17.5 points for Josh Hart. This might be the riskiest one just because if Portland does get blown out, Hart's probably not going to hit this prop. But I'm going to bank on the game staying close, and I feel good about both these guys going over their points props if the game does stay close. So these are 4 picks I like for today, guys. All points props. Over 30.5 points for Kevin Durant, over 24.5 points for Nikola Jokic, over 23.5 points for Pascal Siakam, and over 17.5 points for Josh Hart. I'm going to put this 4 pick in for myself, probably do a 4 pick power play, but I think I'm also going to take 2 of these picks and do a 2 pick. So I think I'm going to do a 2 pick with Kevin Durant and Hart, and I think I'm going to do a 2 pick as well with Siakam and Jokic. So that way, maybe if we get a pick or 2 wrong, maybe it's KD and Hart that hit. So if we do a 2 pick with those 2, we still get a little bit of our money back. If we do a 2 pick with Jokic and Siakam, and those are the 2 that hit, obviously we get a little bit of our money back there. But my goal is to hit all 4 of these picks. I want to try and go 4-0, get 10x our money, do a power play. If you want to play it safe, you could do a flex play. Flex play ensures that even if you get a pick wrong, you would still get 1.5 extra money. But I like to go for the big payout. I'm going to do a power play with these 4. I'm going to do a 2 pick as well with KD and Hart, and then do a 2 pick with Jokic and Siakam too. But yeah, guys, these are 4 picks I like at first look. Again, if you want more of my favorite plays, I do give those out over on Patreon, so you can check out the Patreon. Link down below in the description. Later this afternoon, probably a couple hours before tip-off tonight, I'll have a couple more picks shared that I do like as we start to get more props added to the board. I'll start to dive deeper, take a look at some other picks I like, and share those on Patreon. But again, appreciate you guys watching the video. Hope you did enjoy. Best of luck tonight, and we will see you in the next one.